I guess about 5 years ago I started staining. So this is not something I've done forever. It's something I integrated into from building and selling fences, residential and commercial, and now here I am. And this is kind of impromptu, so I just want to show you. This is a truck. This is one of the trucks that we use in Nashville. We stain out of it every day. We don't have a ton of equipment. You don't have to spend $1 million. We got a little sprayer there that's about an $800 sprayer and a couple buckets of stain, and that's about it. You know, the rest is little stuff. But who's stained a fence before? Anybody stained a fence or a deck? Who never wants to do it again? Everybody?
Yeah.
That's the general consensus. So a lot of people ask me why we use a oil-based stain. And the main reason is it's easier to clean up, it's faster, it's the maintenance is easier, there's no coating with the oil-based, with these particular types of oil-based stains, there's no film. You don't have to worry about it peeling up or chipping off later. So you can, that fence right there, you can walk up and stain it. Ideally we clean it first, but that fence you can walk up and stain it a year, 2 years, 3 years later, whatever maintenance program you want to put your customers on, you can come back and stain it again. And you don't have to prep it, you just go right back over it. So that makes sense. Who's got a question to get me started here? No questions? All right. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and stain this fence panel. Ideally, like I said, we would clean it first, maybe a day, 2 or 3 days before. But we're gonna go ahead and stain it. And I didn't set everything up so you could see kind of, we're just gonna move nice and slow and get it done. And we'll let you guys stain this fence because I'm lazy, I don't like staining. Go ahead.
A lot of times you buy stain and it says after you spray it, you got to back brush it.
Yeah, you guys don't have time for that, do you?
No.
No, you don't back brush this. You'll see that in just a few minutes. We flood coat, we flood it on. You can write your name in the fence, whatever you want, and it's gonna all self-level out. That's what makes it fast. So many fence guys are worried, I don't want to back brush, I don't want to worry about overspray. And you'll see we might get some on the truck. We might, if we had a road, I thought there was gonna be a concrete road here right in front of the fence. We wet it down with a water hose. Oil and water don't mix, so we can wet everything down. You see, we keep a hose, wet it down, and once you stain the job, just rinse it right away. You know, brick works the same way. I've got some videos I can show you guys where we get it on vinyl siding, get it on bricks, we wipe it off, rinse it off. So I don't want you to feel like you can be a knucklehead with it, but you can definitely, you can not worry so much about it. Go ahead.
What are you cleaning with?
Most people are cleaning is a big deep rabbit hole we can go down, but for that fence the most practical and cheapest way to do it is to use a little shear flow pump and spray a bleach solution on it, and that will kill any mold or mildew. It'll turn the fence a nice white color, and if you're going to go over it with a nice brown or red, it'll give you a real nice clean slate. When you get into decking, we go down a big long rabbit hole. You know, we can do a lot of different things there, but keep it simple. Ideally we would have bleached that fence about 2 or 3 days ago in the summertime. Now we're back on staining day, and we've got an airless sprayer here. That's a commercial grade airless, and it's about $800 if you buy one at retail, and that's a workhorse. You know, some companies sell these big huge trailers and stuff, and we bought a couple of them, but they break down a lot, and we don't use them anymore. We use these little airlesses. So let's get started. I need a couple guys to help me mask this brick retaining wall over here. I've already got it started. If I can do that real quick, just to reduce any chance of overspray. Okay. This is easier than breaking rock, isn't it?
Do you have to tape the hinges on the door?
Nope, we're going to spray right over. You're going to grease those
You're out of
hinges.
Nashville.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all this stuff here, we'll spray right over it. We'll just wipe it down when we're done, and that'll be it. So if you're going to sell staining to your customer and they want a nice bright cedar color and they've got an old gray fence, you just got to be mindful that the background is going to have an effect on the finished product. So for this fence, I picked a dark color. I hope everybody's all right with that for the golf course. Just a dark color, and it'll just be more of a placeholder, just so you can see what we're doing. All right.
How soon can you stain something that's freshly installed?
I tell most people, if you're asking the question, the time's right now. And the reason is, it may be better to let this fence age for 6 months or a year or to the current condition. The problem is it'll never look as good as it did when it was new. So if we can catch it when it's brand new, it's going to look better. And most staining contractors are a couple weeks out. So if you build the fence today, Tell your customer it's time to go ahead and let's get you on the schedule. Bill them for the fence. You come back a week later, 2 weeks later, and go ahead and stain. 25 bucks. This is a moisture meter. And in Florida, Georgia, you don't get as low a moisture content as we get back home. In Nashville, we like to get 12 or 13%. Here, we're probably going to be lucky to get 15. It's 17%, 17.9. You can just poke it in, right around 17%. It's humid here. There's moisture in the air. There's fog. It's rainy. It's not ideal, but this stain's still going to work just fine. It's got dummy lights on it, so even I can use it. Who wants to open a bucket of stain and mix it up properly? These stains are oil-based, even water-based stains. When you go to Home Depot, they put it in the shaker for 5 minutes, so you just want to make sure that when you open this up, that you get it nice and mixed up. And it'd be ideal if you had a bucket opener. So that stain probably looks different than what most of you are used to. Nice and thick, and you want a vortex, so you like that, simple. Milwaukee's nice. But there you go, that stain's mixed up and ready to go. It's a brand new sprayer, it probably won't work. What do you want to bet?
Oh, you just bought it?
Yeah, it's brand new. So you just drop your hose in. Let's see. Prime is down. It works. Just quiet. It doesn't have anything in the line, so that may be why it's having a little trouble priming and filling the line. There we go. All right, nothing blew up. So that's the first time we've ever used this pump. It's brand new. Normally, your line is going to stay as full. And believe it or not, how often do you think we clean these airless sprayers?
Every time.
Never clean them.
Really?
Ever. With oil-based stain, they don't dry. It's a non-drying stain, and so it stays in your line. And some guys probably do use mineral spirits or something to clean it out.
Yeah.
The only time we will clean our pumps is if we use a water-based product, because water-based products you would think that oil is harder to clean up. Water-based is really difficult to clean up. Oil, you can just wipe it right off. We could spray this out of this truck, wipe it off, and nobody would ever know. But
Now you say it doesn't dry on, does it dry on the fence?
it will. It will. It's a non-drying oil, so it's a paraffin oil base, and that is a non-drying oil, but it soaks into the wood, and what's left on top is your colors, your pigments, your sealers and things, and they are. I'm not a chemist, but if the wood grain is a porous surface, kind of like your fingers, the sealers just come right in there, and the colors, and it all just makes a nice flat surface, but there's no film, nothing to peel off. And you'll see what I'm talking about once this dries, and we'll go from there. But tips on these things, and I don't know how deep we'll go, but I can answer any question you got, but we like, this tip's called a number 521. I'll put it there for the camera, 521, that's what we like to use, but you can use so many different ones. And some of the things that make our job easier are these extensions and these swivel heads. So we can turn this head any way we want it, spray anywhere, up high, down low. Main part, you got your bottom runner. You can turn your tip up, get that bottom runner, anything you want to do, and that's about it.
Does that wand come with the sprayer, or is it buying something?
The hose?
The wand that you
The gun and the guard come, and I don't know what these are, 30 or 40 bucks to get one of those. The swivel, I get one of those too. You know, you probably got an extra $100 in this setup here, but man, it's going to make you so much faster. It's going to make you a lot faster. How long, like what's your average privacy fence? How many feet, wherever you guys are from? How long is your average one?
200-300 feet.
200, 300 feet. What about you? Privacy fence?
Yeah, well, we put up probably about 5.
Okay. So your 200-foot job, a good crew can get in and out in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And with the sprayer, and on 500 feet, maybe 3 hours. You know, it just depends. You know, and sometimes there's swimming pools that slows things down. But like this fence, if I wanted to, I could have sprayed both sides of that fence and been gone in maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I'd spend more time rolling up hoses and stuff than anything else. So you can be pretty quick with it, and I don't know what way the wind's blowing. Maybe best to start on the other end and work our way back.
Yeah.
But
Is it a one coat deal, or are you going back?
it's a flood coat. So what that means, think of a sponge. You know, a sponge, it's hard and dry, and then you drip it in the water, and it'll only get so soft and take so much. Once you get that saturation point, that's when you stop.
Okay.
And customers might say, hey, you didn't put enough on, and put some more, and it's saturated. It's not going to do any more to now or later.
Will
So.
it get to the point where it's starting to actually run?
Yeah, we want it to run.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to blow your mind if you've always done water coatings, because it's nothing. It's not like painting a car. So let's get started. I didn't have my tip on tight enough, but I guess we won't do the back side. You don't want to fool with the back. I think you can get back there anyway. There you go. All right. So what I like to do, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. But I like to get the top first, and a lot of times I would start on this far end, but I won't, just so you guys can do it. But I would start on the far end while I was pulling my hose out. I would take my tip, turn it down, and just walk and get the whole top. And so I've got my end grain done. Doesn't look like much, but it is. And I'm just going to start spraying. Don't have much hose, but. All right, now the hard work's over. There's a lot of overspray that you're going to see with this, but it's atomized so finely that you're actually going to get less visible overspray on the house when you use this flood coat versus like a low pressure DC pump or a pump up sprayer. The pump up sprayers and the low pressure, they put really big particles, they're splashing, and where this is so finely atomized, it's just a lot easier to clean up. But you are going to see the fog, and but once you get a couple jobs under your belt, you'll get some confidence. But that's it. Simple as that. We can do whatever we want. It's not gonna affect the finished product. So who wants to give it a shot? Come on. I tried, and I don't know if you noticed, but I like to hit between the boards on the first pass, and that's about it. You see how it's running?
Yeah.
That's what you want. I wonder how many cars we're going to paint on there. That's it, and you'll get as you do it, you'll get better, obviously. Yeah. But that stain job, when it's done, you're not going to be able to tell any difference between mine and yours. And gauge, we'll just spray right over the hardware. Again, we might want to get our top again. Did you get that on camera? That'd be perfect.
Someone did.
But those things happen, and that's the main reason you don't smell our stain. Do you guys smell all those solvents in the stain and all the chemicals? No. You smell that? Exactly. I used to go home every day looking like this and smelling just terrible. I would get in the shower, I'd take a bath, it would run down the drain. And all those oil-based stains have carcinogens in them. They're made with solvents and a lot of really deadly stuff. And I decided to make a change, and that's why we made our stain without solvents. So it's solvent-free. And but it still works. And a lot of people say low VOC, oh, that means it's junk. Well, it doesn't. It's not true. So things happen, and just got to roll with the punches. But I didn't have my tip tight enough because I'm a salesman. You know, you fence guys always go, the salesman don't know what the heck's going on. Prime example. Been in the truck too long. But there we go. That's it, like through a top like that. That's Who's brave enough to try it now that they've seen it blow up? You gonna try to stain some? Yeah, well, we'll give it a try. Tips on good. Go ahead, I'm gonna grab some.
Make sure you spray the fence.
So, pull the trigger. Stop. Let go. Up the trigger. When you get to the top, let go. Now hit it again. Now stop at the bottom. Again. Just like that. You'll figure it out. With the flood coat, you can be careful. You don't want to go too fast. Slow down and go nice and easy. You want to get the runs and stuff. All those will disappear. Depends on who's paying for the stain. Yeah. Give it a shot. New equipment. No strength. Yeah, no, I didn't have that tip on tight enough. And when I'm going back to inspect a job or something when we're done, I'm going to look for a few things. I'm probably going to squat down because I can see the bottom of these posts. We didn't get those. Maybe a few thin spots, maybe right there. We'll hit it right there. That's it. I mean, it's pretty much done. If somebody wants to go ahead and finish the back right here, we'll start wiping the gate hinges down. You want to feel like doing it?
How much coverage you get out of a 5-gallon bucket?
About 10 foot a gallon. So on your average 6 foot fence, 125 square feet a gallon. That's what makes this type of system really profitable for the fence builder, because you can get in, you can flood it on, and you can walk away from it, and you're not worrying about peeling, chipping, you're not worried about runs and lap marks and things. And you see a few runs, those will all be gone in just a few minutes.
And it cracks, you don't have to do it from both sides, it'll fill in.
If you noticed, when I was spraying particularly, I tried to hit in between the cracks first to get that. And then when you're spraying both sides, you double, you know, it's really not much of an issue. I know you guys some of you owners are sitting there going, looking at this overspray going, man, what's going on with that? Overspray is an issue. If it gets on a car, you can wash it off. As you get better, as you figure out how to do it, you're gonna learn how to manage the overspray. So when I get done, I'm gonna walk over there. If we got it on somebody's car, I'll wash it off. And you know, obviously this is just for demonstration, but the wind looks like it's blowing in a good direction for us. So anything on the grass, you're gonna see a little stain on the grass for a couple of days. Once they mow the grass, it's no big deal. Our stains are biodegradable, so you can use it around ponds or children's backyards and stuff, and you're not going to have an issue. We make deck stains too, whole nother class, but this right here is a really good way to add money to your bottom line. In Nashville in 2008, you could 2007 you could make about $3,500 on a 200-foot privacy fence. In 2008, you could make about $300 on that same fence. Everybody came out of the woodwork building fences, and so this enabled us to separate ourselves. It enabled us to not have as many callbacks, because this fence isn't going to warp and twist if it's new and we stain it. And so it's just a great way to just give something more to your customers and add more money in, you know.
Is the playground safe?
Yeah.
What happens to the car that
doesn't get washed immediately or whatever.
With some stains, that's a big problem. With our stain, we've got a pump-up sprayer over there with a degreaser in it. Soap and water will take this off. The solvents are what makes it bite into, not into wood, but plastics, car finishes, vinyl siding, things like that, anything painted. The solvent and the stain is what really makes it bite in there, and that's what it's designed to do. When we remove the solvent, we found that our cleanup was a lot easier, 100 times more easy. And so when we're done with the job and packing up the truck, if you want, let me see something, please, sir. Just so we do a perfect job, here's where that swivel tip comes in, wherever these posts are.
You missed one.
Did I miss one? Salesman, you know. But yeah, you can just walk through and catch those. That's it. But now we just open the gate up, start wiping the hinges down, and it's going to be safe as soon as you leave, once you wipe this hinge down, for little Timmy to come out here and open the gate up and let the dog out or whatever. It's
So what if you get it in your eye?
in your eye. Don't get it in your eye.
Now, how does
on
that stick to galvanized steel posts? You know, this fence has steel posts
in
and
Nash-
sometimes they're covered
in
and
Nashville,
sometimes they're
almost every gate frame in Middle Tennessee is metal, and we spray right over them, just like you saw these hinges. We'll spray right over it. We'll wipe it off with a box of rags.
not. But if it's a galvanized post or galvanized frame, what happens?
Nothing.
Does it stick?
Well, you noticed how I got it all over this? Just wipe it off.
Oh,
It will not stick.
what if, oh, it won't stick.
I guess if you left it on for a month, you know, if you never cleaned it, you might see some residue. I mean, there's solids in this stain and the pigments and stuff, but no, it won't stick to metal. Anything non-porous, it won't stick to. Stain work on treated. Works great. We're 90% treated. Was it you that asked? Yeah, 90% treated pine in Nashville.
Okay.
But these stains work on anything. And you see the runs, they're slowly going away. In a few minutes, the finished product will look like this area right here, something like that. It's going to have that nice matte. It's going to look just like the fences, just change colors. And that's it. I mean, you could come back the next day if you missed a spot. You're not going to have interfering lap marks or anything. So it's a pretty simple system. We didn't make the whole backyard stink for 6 months like some of these solvent-based stains do. And we made on this fence right here, I don't know what you would charge to build it, but you would charge a premium to come out and build this fence. You might double your price to do the stain. And you can see we stained it a whole lot faster than we could have built it. So
We didn't charge them nothing.
yeah. That's not good for business though, is it? But that's it.
Now, when you stain the back side, there's one post on the end that's not covered.
Okay.
Would you just leave it after you spray it? I want to see what it looks like next year.
Yeah, I
See
can
that?
spray that. You want me to spray it?
Yeah, but and then don't wipe it off.
Is there one here? See if I can reach in through. When you spray your gates, just a side note, you guys probably know, it's good to open them up and catch in there, just so it looks good. But this pumps back here he's talking about. Here's the cool thing about an airless sprayer. It'll shoot a long way if you turn the tip around. So I put a spot on it so you can see. Is that all right?
Oh, he wants to paint the whole thing. He wants the whole thing the same color as the fence.
Does he?
He wants to paint the post to see if it sticks or not.
Let's
by,
do it.
by next year.
Yeah, it'll
Paint the
just
galvanized post.
it's just
Don't
gonna look
wipe it off.
it's just gonna look kind of brown. You want 50% if it works? There you go. You got a brown post back there.
Okay.
But that's it, guys. I'm new to training, so if I left something out, just make sure and ask. But this is a whole lot of fun. It's hard work because it's hot. It's hard work, you know, because you got to keep your feet moving. But it's not hard like digging post holes. A lot of people don't know what hard work is, but you guys do, and staining is a lot easier. So there you go. Who's going to be the next stain crew? Anybody ready?
So you said that it's better on wood fences?
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you're using both, like old.
Yeah, you can put it on a new fence or an old fence. For instance, this fence here has opportunity to clean it. So you could come in maybe 15 minutes, clean it, charge $2, $3 a foot on a big fence, and then come stain it $6, $7, $8 a foot, depending on where you're located. And your material costs probably be somewhere around $2.50 a foot on materials. In Nashville, we pay about 60 cents a linear foot for a crew to go stain the fence. So 150 feet, they're going to pay, they're not going to pay 60 cents isn't right. It's a 150-foot fence costs me $90 labor to have a crew go out and stain it. And we don't work subs, we work employees, but we pay them like subs. Keeps their feet moving faster. And about it.
Okay, guys. Well, this is a stainless steel. We put it on this fence. The fence was literally dirty and everything. They were able to spray it. It's still sprayed on. It rained like crazy last night. It's still on. Looks beautiful, as all you can see. It only sticks on wood and no metal. As you can see, it wipes off. It's the best thing.